I've been flying over to Maine since 2015, but I've only been here for one summer. Now that I live here, I get to witness a full Maine summer season. Here in Maine, only 1.3 million people live here, and over the course of the year, over 26 million people will visit. The main visitors are the French Canadians who hop across the border every year and drive south for the summer. Inland Americans wanting to see the coast, and the rest are international. I've found unlike British tourism, Americans like to spend their hard-earned cash when enjoying their free time. Summer rentals can be as much as $3,000 a week. And families will eat out nearly every night they're on vacation. In the UK, I find that people prefer smaller hotel rooms with little tubes of toothpaste and little bars of soap. I find that Brits like to downplay their holidays and spend their money more frugally. As an avid beer drinker, I can safely say that I've landed in the Eden of beers. In 2019, Maine has over 90 microbreweries that are currently active, and with many more starting up in 2020. Mainers really love their beer, and that can be shown through the economy as it stimulates over $260 million a year, solely through microbreweries. And it's not just 90 microbreweries, each brewery will also brew several styles of beer. So that's hundreds and hundreds of beers to try out. It's such a hard life here. And I already have a few of my firm favourites: Bissell Brothers, Lone Pine, and the Maine Beer Company. Those are a few of my favourite breweries. Mainers will always tell you how great Maine lobster is. Around 400 million pounds, that's 18,000 metric tons, are caught in Maine's waters. 90% of the lobster in the USA comes from Maine. And it's not just lobster, Maines really love their seafood. There are bars, restaurants and cafes all over the place that are dedicated to providing the freshest seafood from Maine. The thing is, I'm not a big seafood fan. I eat whitefish and tuna and salmon, but when it comes to lobster and clams and mussels, no thanks. I'll leave that to the Mainers. And the wife. Over the last 6 months of being here, I have heard Mainers complain about how much the fuel costs, especially when it goes up by 50 cents a gallon. And I do nothing but chuckle to myself. Being a Brit, I'm used to paying the high fuel prices. The average cost in Maine for fuel is around $2.65 a gallon, and converted for us Brits, that works out to be about 57 pence a litre. And with recent events, fuel prices have dropped considerably down to $1.67 a gallon, which works out to be about 35 pence a litre. And why am I sounding dramatic? In the UK, fuel prices when I left in October of 2019 was 132 pence a litre, or around $6.20 a gallon. So when I hear the cost of fuel going up to $3 a gallon, I was so confused to why Mainers were getting annoyed. So the number one thing I have learnt here in Maine over the last 6 months is the weather. To quote most Mainers, if you don't like the weather, give it a minute. And it's true, I've only been living here in the States for 6 months, and I can tell you that I've been wearing my heavy coat winter jacket at 8 AM, but by 10 o'clock I'm in my t-shirt, by 12 o'clock it's raining, and by 4 PM it's snowing, and then by the evening it's spring weather again. Maine has such a dramatic shift in the weather. However, rapid changes aren't the only thing. The temperature difference are massive depending on the season. On average in winter, Maine can hit as low as 12 Fahrenheit, which is minus 11 Celsius. And in the summer, it can average around 71 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 21 degrees Celsius. However, I have been over here for one summer, and I can tell you that summer, it was definitely not just 21 degrees Celsius, it was a lot warmer. Sometimes it was hitting around 30 degrees C for several days. Not that I'm complaining, I'm okay with clear skies and sunshine. Being British, I am used to damp and cold summers. Muggy weather, lots of rain, and maybe one sunny day. And for winter, holy crap, it's different. It's a different type of cold here. It's a lot crispier, it's not muggy as what you get in the UK. And to be honest, it is quite nice after the snow settles, as long as there's no wind. I'm down in the south of Maine, and we still can get about 3 to 4 feet worth of snow. However, I am quite impressed with Maine's plough system. There are laws around the city centres and busy areas where you are not allowed to park on the road during snow season. This is because the plough trucks are out throughout the night, and by the morning, the roads are clear. It seems to me that the UK gets half an inch of snow, and they lose their minds. And now for a random fact. The coldest day in Maine that's been recorded was minus 50 Fahrenheit, which is about negative 45 degrees Celsius. Now that's bloody cold. And the hottest was 105 Fahrenheit. That's 40.6 degrees Celsius. Now that's bloody warm. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this new type of video from me. I'm hoping to do a few more of these videos throughout the year about living in Maine as an expat. And I've got some travel videos that I want to be doing once we're out of isolation. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you wish to see more content. Until then, see you again, America.